Hello to you, my friend. Today I am going to do an interest kind of video. I am ASMR Weasel, and welcome to another video to make you feel relaxed, calm and good and comfortable and joyous, I hope. So today I'm going to be talking about various TV series I enjoy. I'm going to mention six different TV series. They're going to be somewhat different genres, but hopefully you'll enjoy just hearing me talk about them. And you can see if one of these may be interesting to you as well, if you haven't watched them before. But that's for you to judge for yourself, of course. Okay? Yeah. I'm not going to be doing much tapping or ASMR triggers today. I may take a pen and just tap a little on the various covers, but that's it. Also, if you need some more relaxation, remember to check out the last positive affirmation video, and remember to check out the various shorts videos with soothing words, poking and brushing, and maybe some rapper sounds, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, I'll begin. So some of you are probably very, very familiar with what I'm showing you right now. This, going to use a pen here, is Friends, and so this is all 10 seasons of Friends, and Friends is one of my favorite sitcoms. It's a comedy, it's a sitcom, a very famous sitcom from the 1990s and early 2000s. It follows a gang of friends in New York in the 1990s and early 2000s, and it's still very popular as of today. It should be pointed out that one of the actors recently passed, actually. The guy here, Matthew Lewis, I believe his name was, and he played the character of Chandler. He recently passed, unfortunately, but all the other five, I believe, are alive. So this is, the sitcom success of the 1990s. This is for those of you who have nostalgia for the 1990s, or who just need a new sitcom to watch. Maybe find it fun to watch sitcoms with somewhat more old-fashioned humor. So yeah, and I think it's still funny and enjoyable today too. And I think it's kind of quaint and fun to watch sort of scenes from life in New York in the 1990s. It's funny, too. So yeah, definitely one of the best sitcoms out there, if you ask me. You can see here the Blu-ray. Yeah, the Blu-ray. And here are the 6 main characters. Yeah, I'm going to just use a pen here and just. So yeah. So it's 10 very enjoyable seasons. So yeah. There are lots of episodes too, but if you need something funny to watch, I'd recommend this. Anyway. I'm going to show you another sitcom now. Big Bang Theory. And this is also one of the most famous sitcoms. So I'm sure some of you guys already know of this. This is the Big Bang Theory, and this is the cover for the complete 4th season. I have all 12 seasons. And yeah, this is sort of a big part of my everyday. I watch it every week pretty much, and this is a more modern type of sitcom with more modern humor. This sitcom is sort of follows a gang of friends, or nerds if you wish. Yeah, actually nerds. In the late 2000s and the 2010s. And they live in Pasadena, California. And this sitcom sort of goes more into the whole nerdish things. This is not offensive. I don't mean, when I use the word nerds, I don't mean it in any offensive way. I'm a nerd myself. I'm very nerdish myself, so which probably some of you people can see. So which follows, yeah, and they have fun and funny episodes, and of course it gets funnier, but by the fact that Sheldon Cooper, one of the most prominent main characters of the series, arguably the main character, has no sort of social intelligence. He's completely clueless when it comes to social stuff. He doesn't really understand sarcasm, and at times he can be kind of condescending to other people, but he's really intelligent too. So yeah, so his social interactions with the other characters are hilarious at times. And yeah, and you can also see Penny here, and she's not a nerd like the other characters. She is actually like the attractive neighbor girl, yeah, who the character Leonard falls in love with, but she sort of becomes friends. She falls in love with Leonard during the course of the series, and she becomes friends with other characters. I'm not going to go into more details on that, but it's a really fun series to watch. So if you want to watch another type of sitcom, I'd advise The Big Bang Theory. This is now we're moving on from humor and sitcoms to fantasy drama. This is Once Upon a Time, all 7 seasons actually. And for those of you who wonder what Once Upon a Time is, well, if you enjoy Disney fairy tales and fantasy stuff, this may be for you. So, what's happened in Once Upon a Time? What's happened is that the evil queen from Snow White has cast a dark curse, and this curse has trapped all of the most, and if not all of the various fairy tale characters in a town called Storybrooke in Maine, in our world. Only we don't remember the fairy tale backgrounds anymore. We're cursed, so we just live normal, regular lives in our worlds. We no longer remember that we were fairy tale characters. And the evil queen remembers, and she's the mayor of the town, and she's trying to keep the curse intact, because this is her way of winning and stealing all the happy endings. However, the daughter of Prince Charming and Snow White, Emma, she was sent away before the curse hit as a baby, although she does not know anything of the fairy tale world, as she was just a baby at the time. She was sent to a magical wardrobe to our world, and has sort of been raised and grown up in our world as an orphan. As 28-year-old, a kid named Henry, who is a son, who lives in Storybrooke, because she gave her son away 10 years before the series. Emma gave her son away up for adoption, so Henry was adopted by the evil queen and has been raised as the son of Regina, the evil queen. And so he brings Emma back to Storybrooke and tries to get her to believe in fairy tales, because she's the key to breaking the evil queen's curse. There are 7 seasons, and it's a long series, so you can really only watch this if you have time. There are like more than 140 episodes, maybe more than 150, and it's a long series. There are 7 seasons, and every episode is 45 minutes, so it's quite a commitment to make. But it's a fun series, and it's an intriguing concept, and the entire first season is about getting Emma to believe that fairy tales are real, because she has only experience from our world, so she doesn't believe in fairy tales or magic or stuff like that. And to sort of break the curse. And then the other seasons builds on the concepts from there. I'm not going to spoil the rest of the show, but there are The evil queen serves as the first villain of the show, but there are many various fairy tale villains as the show progresses. It's a fun series if you enjoy fantasy stuff. So here you can see some of the covers of the various 7 seasons. I love this show. It's magical, although at times, especially in the later seasons, sometimes there are a few filler episodes. To be honest, even in the first season, there are a few standalone filler episodes. But when a series has more than 150 episodes, you get that. So sometimes the plot can move along a little slowly. But the episodes which are good are really good, and some of the episodes are just pure magic and enjoyable to watch. So, well, for those of you who enjoy magic and fantasy and Disney fairy tales, this is for you. Yeah, okay, so the next show is going to be just a 6-episode show I'm going to recommend. Because some of you are probably thinking 150 episodes, that's a wee bit much. I don't have that kind of time. Well, if you need a shorter show to watch, I have a recommendation about a show which is just 6 episodes. I'm going to just get my phone here because I don't have any DVD cover or stuff like this. And this show really relies on that famous concept recently, the multiverse. So here I'm just going to show you. This is a show called For Parallels. It streams on Disney Plus. I'm going to show you guys. You can see, yeah, you can see it. Yeah. So these are some pictures from the show Parallels. It's actually a teen kind of show. Sort of. I think it's for young adults, teens, young adults, but it's enjoyable. And so those of you who feel for this show, I just have to sort of. I'm sorry, now I stumbled in my own words again. It happens. Apologies, guys. Apologies. Yeah, if you like Stranger Things or Back to the Future, I suspect this is your kind of show, because this deals with the multiverse and time travel. So, Back to the Future, time travel, whimsical time travel, or Stranger Things, dark multiverse kind of things. It should be pointed out that Parallels is not dark like Stranger Things. It doesn't have those kind of whims. It's also not whimsical like Back to the Future. It's more its own kind of thing. But if you enjoyed Back to the Future and Stranger Things, chances are you may enjoy Parallels as well. It has 6 episodes on Disney Plus, and it follows 4 teenage friends who lives in a calm town on the French-Swiss border. They're going to have a party because one of the characters, Sam, has his birthday. So they're going to have a party in a bunker. And so they're having a party in a bunker and everything's going fine. But simultaneously there is an experiment nearby. And due to the experiment, the various characters are sent into parallel and alternate timelines. So the party soon becomes a nightmare, and in the first timeline, Sam witnesses all of his 3 friends disappear. They just disappear, completely disappear with no trace of them, so that's shocking. And then we later learn of the existence of other timelines. There's also a timeline where Sam's brother Victor and Sam's girlfriend, I don't remember her name, but are left and the other 2 are gone, and then there is also a 3rd timeline. So we're sent into various timelines and we have to sort of try to fix this entire mess. There is time travel involved and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into more details on that. It's essentially a show about the multiverse, about parallel timelines, hence the name Parallels, and about time travel. We have to sort of fix the time. So yeah. So for those of you who find that intriguing, I'd recommend watching it. It is dubbed in English, but if you're not fond of dubbing, you can also watch it in the original language, which is French. Anyway, going to move on to the next. So if some of you felt that series was a little on the short side, just 6 episodes, then maybe I can recommend something in between the 2 last recommendations. This show has about 50 to 60 episodes or something like that, and that is Manifest. This is a paranormal mystery type of series, which I thought was really enjoyable. I watched all of it last year. It was really enjoyable. So this is Manifest. And the concept here is simple. In 2013, Flight 828 disappeared. 5 years later, it came home. It follows a shocking paranormal mystery where a flight which disappeared in 2013, suddenly returns with all of its passengers in 2018. They were declared dead, but 5 years later they return. Only no one has no idea how it returned. Not even the passengers understand what has happened. Because, have they been abducted by like something, or have they time traveled? No one knows. It's a complete mystery what happened to the plane and the passengers. And the passengers has to now sort of return to a world that has moved on from them, and readjust to a world that has sort of moved on from them, be reunited with their families and stuff like that, who have believed them dead for 5 years. And the mystery gets even more thrilling and exciting as the passengers shortly after landing starts hearing something they call for callings, which are voices in their head, sort of guiding them to help people. But are the voices good or aren't they? And what is actually happening here? So it has 4 seasons, and the plot is sort of slowly unraveling, and it is a little slow moving at times. There are lots of twists and turns, and the question remains: what happened to the plane, and what happened to the passengers, and can we sort of get back into the world now that the world has moved on from them, And of course, in addition, the passengers are also treated with mistrust by some people, who find their supernatural abilities creepy and unnatural, and then again they are worshipped by others who believe they are some kind of divine miracle. So it's a very intriguing type of series. So if you enjoy paranormal mysteries, I'd recommend it. There's one more series left to talk about. This is called for Ghost Whisperer. It's another supernatural kind of series, and some of you may have heard of it. It aired from 2005 to 2010. It had 5 seasons. It was cancelled, so there were a few plot lines which weren't entirely resolved, but the series did end on a conclusive note. It did not end on a cliffhanger, thankfully. So, it did end on a conclusive note. So here you can see, this is the main character, Melinda Gordon. And you can see here, maybe, the dead are talking, and she is listening. So the series is named Ghost Whisperer, and it's about a woman who can communicate with the spirits of the dead. And her mission as a medium, she can see spirits and ghosts. And her mission is to send those earthbound spirits over to the light by finishing their unresolved business, be it unresolved business with family, friends, or whatever their unresolved business is. And in the Ghost Whisperer, in the word of Ghost Whisperer, ghosts do exist, and Melinda can see them, but most people, just like in our reality, does not believe in ghosts or their existence. So Melinda isn't always met with understanding by everyone. Some people see her as a fraud, or feel like she is stepping over the line at times when she's trying to help people. So she has to be careful with who she tells about her gift, because not everyone is equally understanding when she says she can see ghosts, because that makes some people see her as crazy, of course. So it's a very enjoyable series. It's sort of an emotional type of series, because in every episode, and most of the episodes are standalone, but there is an overarching story running throughout the 5-season series too. But in each episode she helps a ghost cross over to the light, essentially heaven, find peace, cross over to heaven. And it's kind of an emotional series. And the series also focused a little around Melinda and her husband Jim and their relationship, which is also a central aspect of the series. Because we have this kind of sweet kind of relationship. Okay, yeah. So, and there are a few other main characters appearing in the series as well. There is her best friend Andrea, and then later on in the series, Melinda actually befriends a skeptic named Delia, who does not actually believe in ghosts initially. So that's also kind of interesting, but she doesn't appear before in season 2. Anyway, but there are various characters appearing throughout the series. However, despite the emotional side of the series, as the series progresses, we learn that there's a dark side to the spirit world as well. It's not just all light and rainbows, because we learn that there exists dark spirits too, spirits who essentially are trying to recruit or send the other ghosts to the other side. Essentially, to these dark spirits, they're trying to guide the other spirits away from the light and drag them down into a darker place. And you can see the silhouette of a wide-brimmed hatman here. He is kind of a villain in the first season, appearing in a few episodes of the first season, and he's a dark spirit. You can see him here. He is not a good guy. He is one of the spirits which opposes Melinda and tries to get the spirits over to the dark side instead. And later on in the series, Melinda also meets a medium who also tries to get spirits to the dark side. So as the series progresses, we learn more about the existence of a darker side to the spirit world as well. And that there also exists something called for the underworld, so which exists as opposed to the light. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil more than that, but it's an intriguing series. Lots of stuff happens. It's kind of supernatural drama, and there is an overarching story in addition to the standalone episodes. And some episodes are very different from others. There are some really thrilling and exciting episodes. And the show there are a few episodes, especially in the later seasons, which have some slight horror elements as well. So some of the episodes can actually be a little creepy at times, but most of the time it's more of an emotional, lighter type of series. So if you enjoy supernatural things, ghosts, drama, and maybe just feeling a little emotional, this is for you. Okay, now I talked about 6 different kind of TV series, and you have to enjoy, and you have to decide for yourself if these are for you and if you're going to enjoy them or not. Maybe just try if any of them seemed tempting to you, seemed like something you'd like. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed me just talking about my interest in TV series, and maybe some of you have already seen one or several of these. Wish you guys all the best, and thank you for watching.